Hari Om. We are in our new center. We just inaugurated yesterday, and this is a new place above the center in the third floor. So that's where I will be shifting. So this, sorry for the delay, some connectivity and all that we have to sort out. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha. Samasta Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Stuštuvagum Sastanubhihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vridhashravah Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastarksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspatirdadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Salutations to all. So we have been seeing in the Kaivalya Upanishad the steps of contemplation. Fifth mantra in the first part gave us the steps to sit in a solitary place, to sit in a comfortable posture, and having the head, neck, and the spine in a straight line. One sits with the attitude of a seeker who wants to know the self, and also having restrained the senses. One invokes the Guru in one's heart, does the salutations, Swagarum Pranamya. Then what should one contemplate? Hrit Pundarikam Virajam Vishuddham. In the lotus of the heart, one contemplates that I am that pure consciousness which is without any impurity, Virajam, which is the purest, Vishuddham, and Vishadam, Vishokam, which is beyond all sorrow, which is most clear, that pure consciousness I am. So we had done the contemplation on that also. Now the next shloka also is about the same formless consciousness. So pointers are given. Achintyam avyaktam anantarupam shivam prashantam amritam brahma yonim tathadi madhyanta vihinamekam vibhum chidanandam adbhutam. So Achintyam, consciousness is that which cannot be thought of. It is unthinkable. Avyaktam, it is unmanifest. Anantarupam, it has taken many forms. Infinite are its forms. Shivam, most auspicious. Prashantam, supremely quiet. Amritam, it is immortal. Brahma Yonim, it is the very womb of the whole creation. Tatha Adi Madhyanta Vihinam, it does not have beginning and end and middle. Adi, Madhya, Anta. Vihinam. Ekam, it is one. Vibhum, all pervasive. Chidanandam, of the nature of consciousness and bliss. Arupam, does not have form. And Adbhutam, most wonderful. So, these are pointers. Each of these we have to contemplate as I am this, where I is not the small I is infinite consciousness, and I am that. This is not, oh, there is some consciousness. Now that consciousness is achintyam, unthinkable, avyaktam, unmanifest, anantarupam, has taken many forms. I am that pure consciousness. I am not this body, not this jiva. That's the nididhyasana has to happen. Now, each of these, as Gurudev would say, these are pointers. If in that direction we lift our mind, then we detach from who I am not, attached to who I am, and eventually the pointer falls, the word falls, and one connects to it with the meaning also goes. The state that it is, one identifies with that. So if it is said achintyam, so first of all, it is not some other consciousness that is achintyam. Second, one is contemplating, I am that which is achintyam, I am that which is unthinkable, I am that which is the source of all thoughts. I can be without thoughts. In fact, I am without thoughts as consciousness. Thoughts rise in me, stay in me, fall in me. I am not defined by my thoughts. Thoughts cannot be without me, the consciousness, but I am without the thoughts. So now one is using these words to contemplate. But slowly the mind has to be lifted beyond the words. So if one says, I am unthinkable, so then I am unthinkable, word gone. Unthinkable means beyond thought, that meaning also gone. What remains? I am that consciousness, that state of unthinkable, that I am. Like we saw earlier also, suppose one says, Prakash, come here. So in the audience, if somebody is called, named Prakash, that person will come. Now, why does that person come? Because the person is not thinking somebody called Prakash is being called. Person is not thinking that, oh, Prakash means light. So light is being called. The person rejects the word Prakash, rejects the meaning of the word Prakash, and takes what? The identification, I am Prakash. Once the identification is done, then the word is gone, word meaning is gone. Prakash knows, oh, I am being called, so Prakash goes. Same way, we lift our mind using these pointers. Aham achintyam, I am unthinkable, I am that infinite consciousness. Then remain in that state. Word gone, meaning gone. So that's what has to be done with each pointer. In one session of Nididhyasan, one may use one or two pointers, that is fine. Even 4, 5 if one wants to use. It's not necessary that all these, oh Swamiji, so many pointers are there. The idea is these are pointers using, if one also is enough to lift us to that highest state and drop this false identification, that's enough. In Bhakti, if you see Ramakrishna Paramahamsa will, just the word Ma or Kali is enough. His mind will go into trance. Same way, one or two pointers are enough. Here lots of them are given. Also, you will see here there is mutual contradiction, apparent contradiction. On one hand, it is said avyaktam, unmanifest. And very next breath, it is said ananta rupam. Infinite are the forms. And then down it is said ekam, one. So you decide, Swamiji, what it is. You tell the Rishi. This Rishi also, I don't know what the Rishi has put out. Maybe very confused. He is not able to decide, so he has put everything together. First of all, manifest or unmanifest. If unmanifest, then there cannot be so many forms. And if manifest, then decide one or many. Anantarupam is said, Ekam is said, and then Vibhum, all pervasive also is said. So these are only apparent contradictions. These are from different standpoints. Depending on where our identification is, this will be applicable. We will see how it is. But the language of contradictions the Upanishads use so that we don't have a fixed notion about the self, because that which is infinite does not have any, um, it is not limited by any concept. Suppose we say unmanifest, then the buddhi will make a concept, okay, consciousness is unmanifest. So whatever is manifest is not consciousness. Now this mind has limited consciousness to unmanifest. Suppose we say it is all that which is manifest. All this, Vibhum, is all pervasive. Ananta Rupam, all these are consciousness. And then one thinks, Array, this is all perishable. Whatever is manifest is having a source in the unmanifest. If we say only unmanifest, manifest is rejected. If we say only unmanifest, source is negated, plus manifest is perishable. So the concepts will be limited. Buddhi will always have a limited notion, a concept which will be limiting. Consciousness doesn't have any limitations. It is infinite. So in as many ways possible, it is explained so that the buddhi does not form only one type of a concept about consciousness and limit it. It has to understand it as infinite, and that infinite is me. And so you will find apparent contradictions. They are not actually the contradictions. They are only for us, so that we don't form a wrong notion of consciousness. So achintyam we saw. Now though consciousness is unthinkable, it is unthinkable as what? It is unthinkable as an object, as other than me. Like we study physics, chemistry, biology, and botany, and zoology, and whatever else, we study about politics, economics, management, finance, investment, all that. In that, I am different from all these subjects. Same way, if we say I study Vedanta also, Kaivalya Upanishad also, and okay, there is some consciousness, I came to know about it, very good. It is unthinkable like that. Meaning, even if one thinks about it like that, it doesn't bring about any change in one's identification with the true nature. So what has to be done? It has to be thought of as a subject. Achintyam does not mean, okay, don't think about it at all. Chahe Kaivalya Upanishad band karo, no need to think of consciousness. Finished. Unthinkable meaning it should not be thought of as an object. It is unthinkable as an object because it does not have properties of an object. Consciousness does not have a name, form, attributes, relationship. None of that it has, which are generally limited to the objects. Objects have these properties. So we are able to segregate. Okay, this is a computer. This has certain, whatever, 15-inch it is there. There's a keyboard. Then there is a thermos here. So thermos will hold water. Computer will help us to do whatever the classes and satsang and everything. So each object has a name, form, properties. Consciousness doesn't have. It is beyond all. And so, achintyam, it should not be thought of as an object, yet it has to be thought of. Why? Because it is only through that the false notion that I have about myself, which is also in thought level, that will go. Wrong notions about Atma, what I'm having, those can be removed only when I think about the self using these pointers. That I am Achintyam, I am infinite consciousness, I am not thought. How we limit ourselves today with thought. Anything that thought says, that is who I am. So if a thought rises, I am very fair. Right? That is the body which is fair. I am dark, I am tall, I am young, I am handsome, I am happy, I am sad, I am angry, I am upset. All those small I thoughts, ego oriented thoughts, they are all just, about the equipment. They are not me. Those all thoughts which I have, those have to be replaced with the real I. And that's why the understanding is important. What was said, one should have ascertained properly why I am not this body, mind, intellect, why I am infinite consciousness. So we saw all that. Shravan, Manan has to be done, then Nididhyasana will happen. There one says, I am infinite consciousness beyond thought. Thoughts don't define me. So what will happen with that? When I am doing this contemplation, deep-rooted false notions that I have about me will get replaced. One. Two, in my daily transactional life also, Vyavaharik life also, I will see that next time the anger comes or some excitement is there or some inferiority, superiority based on whatever, the color, skin, money, possessions, Buddhi will say, this is not you. You are infinite consciousness. This is belonging to the BMI. There's a role being played here. That transactional life also, the impact of thought on my self-esteem, on my inner state of balance will reduce. That means my contemplation is happening well. And in contemplation, when I'm able to withdraw from everything and stay in that state of awareness, not a blank, not a wandering mind, not limited by some intellectual ideas, remain in that state of infinite consciousness. Then that means both are complementing well. My daily sadhana is full of detachment so that in contemplation I'm able to withdraw. And in my contemplation, I have gone deep into those states so that when I come out, I realize that this is only a role I'm playing and this BMI is playing it. I am a witness, I am infinite consciousness. So, Achintyam, I am that which is unthinkable, but it has to be thought of. It has to be thought of as the subject, not as the object. Achintyam. Then, Avyaktam, unmanifest. Why is it unmanifest? Unmanifest because all that I am seeing is the manifest world, which is again name form. Anything that is manifest, there will be an unmanifest source behind that. So, for example, let us say simple example, water. Now, water is manifest, one can see. But what is the source? The source is unmanifest. Hydrogen, oxygen. Now, if these two combine together, two molecules of hydrogen, one of oxygen, water is there. Now, we only see that water, but there is an unmanifest source. Same way, this body also. This body is made up of 5 gross elements. But what is the unmanifest source of this body? It is the 5 subtle elements. What is the source of that 5 subtle elements? Infinite consciousness. From consciousness, Maya. Maya is the power of consciousness. And then Maya produces 5 elements. 5 elements grossify. And then the physical body is formed. Mind is formed of subtle 5 elements. So, whatever is seen is manifest. That will have an unmanifest source. But as we saw in this example, the unmanifest source could be another perishable entity, like hydrogen, oxygen for water. When it is said unmanifest here, it means that unmanifest, which is the ultimate cause, the causeless cause, which does not change, which does not get destroyed. That unmanifest cause is called unmanifest because as of now we feel as though we don't experience it. That's why it is unmanifest. Otherwise, it is the only manifest reality because of which we are experiencing everything else. If aham is not there in our heart, this idam, this whole world will not be experienced. Though it is in my own heart, I am not able to experience, so it is called unmanifest. I am searching for it outside. Happiness, we are searching outside. God, we are searching outside. Where is God? Show me God. Have you seen God? What is the proof of God? All these sentences are proof of God. Why? Because if I is not there, the real I is not there in this heart, these words also will not come. But I'm not aware of that because mind has got extrovert. So I'm searching outside. So when I'm searching outside, it appears unmanifest. This mala is on my neck. I don't know it is on my neck. Now I'm searching everywhere. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It is unmanifest. I may see here, there, search up and down and take, turn out whatever my drawers are there, cupboards are there, look left and right, but nothing, can't find. Then one realizes, Arey, it's here only. Now, when one realizes this is here, did it come from unmanifest to manifest? It was always manifest, but it was not known. Example obviously has a limitation, but understand that this was always there. I became aware of it, so it became manifest to me. And I was not aware of it, so it is unmanifest. But all the time it was there. Same way, our attention is not on the aham, it has gone out, and now I am searching outside, so it is unmanifest. The different ways to contemplate. Same word. I am unmanifest. Which also means that unmanifest is the cause. So cause can be without effect, effect can't be without the cause. Just like the achintya. Thought cannot be without consciousness. Consciousness can be without thought. Same way, unmanifest is that consciousness, which is the source. Like the ocean is the source. Wave is there in the ocean in the unmanifest form, and then wave only manifests. Again goes back to the ocean. So the ocean is the unmanifest source of the wave which is manifest. So I am that infinite ocean of consciousness. Many creations, universes, all appear in me, stay in me, disappear in me. Unmanifest is never affected by any amount of manifestation. In this context of infinite consciousness, nothing happens. So I am that unmanifest. So whatever attachment I have to the manifest, I can drop. Anything that is manifest is not me. So it can be things, it can be a body, it can be thoughts, it can be emotions, it can be vasanas, it can be ignorance. I don't know the truth. That notion also is false. Gurudev used to give a nice example. I can't repeat it the way he would do. Very nicely he'll dramatize that you go to a party and you have to meet Mr. Reddy and you have not met him before. You have not seen his photograph. And many days, during Gurudev's time, this mobile phones, all that were, last few years, it has just come. That too not in India, it has come abroad. Otherwise, it was not there, only regular telephone, landline, all that. So no email, no phone and all that. And so then you don't know how that person looks. No photographs are not, you're not seen. The description that has been given to you is that Mr. Reddy is a bald man. Now you have gone into that party and there are some 500 people there. How will you find who is Mr. Reddy? You have not seen him. So, what would Gurudev say? Anybody who has hair, who is not bald, you reject. This is not Mr. Reddy. Why? Because he has hair. Who is Mr. Reddy? He is a bald one. Now you negate, 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 not this, not this, not this, not this. And you finally come to realize, okay, there are five bald people in this place now. Now, in this, how to find who is Mr. Reddy? So the another description that you have is that Mr. Reddy is a South Indian person from Telangana, sorry, Andhra Pradesh. Now he is from Andhra Pradesh and he will be wearing white and white suit. Now you see these five people, who are they? In those five bald people, this Mr. Reddy, who is he? So these three other four people are wearing some different types of clothes. He is wearing white and white suit. Most probably it is him. Then you go and introduce. So like that, when a pointer is given, avyaktam, everything that is manifest is rejected. So even if a thought comes of, let us say I want to eat something and I am contemplating and the thought has come, I want to eat something. Reject, I am not that. I am infinite consciousness. I am avyaktam. Even that thought which is saying I am avyaktam is a manifest thought. But using that, I'm just going back to the source, which is unmanifest consciousness. So this way one has to contemplate that I am that infinite consciousness, which is unmanifest. Any manifestation rises is not me. No need to get disturbed if some other thought comes. Come back to unmanifest consciousness. Bas. So achintyam, avyaktam, then anantarupam. Though it is unmanifest, it is that which is manifesting as infinite forms. So I am that consciousness which is infinite, having all these forms. Swamiji just now says reject all forms, now saying all the forms. Anantarupam. Anantarupam is actually indicating the oneness behind all this diversity. That's why it is Anantarupam. Ekam also is there for it. But that one which has become infinite forms. So consciousness is only that one. Apparently unmanifest right now, but actually it is manifest. It is that alone which is appearing as this world. But when I see the world, then consciousness appears to be unmanifest. When I come to the state of consciousness, the world seems to disappear. So somebody will have a wrong notion that only one is real. Either consciousness is real or world is real. Because one is become unmanifest when the other is there. Like snake, when I see, rope has become unmanifest. If I see rope, snake is not there. So then one thinks, what is real in this? Family, when I know the rope, then I know snake was never there. Correct. So when I know the rope, then it is very clear the vision of the snake has disappeared. But that limitation has example. Example has limitation. What is that? Because when I see the rope, snake disappears. When this world is the consciousness is experienced, the world disappears. But the Mahatma has the body, one appears, one continues to identify with the body to do some work because prarabdha is there. But one is reveling in that consciousness only. That is the state of the realized person. We want to realize the truth. So for us, the confusion should not be there that consciousness is limited and the world can negate consciousness. Because when the world is there, consciousness is not experienced. When consciousness is there, world is not experienced. So this apparent contradiction is removed, saying consciousness is that which is unmanifest and consciousness alone is this. Because otherwise the world will have another source. That is a logical problem after that. Consciousness will become another source, world will have another source. How is that possible? So the same infinite consciousness appears as the world, again goes back, the world again goes back into it. So it is only appearing as all these forms. There is no some other source. Swamiji, five elements are the cause of this entire world. But what is the ultimate cause of that five elements? Is consciousness. So Ananta Rupam, which means what? Inside, when I withdrawn from all forms, I am infinite consciousness. Outside, when I engage with the world, deep down, I know this is all appearance of consciousness because that alone is the truth. Ananta Rupam. In Bhakti literature, we say Bhakta sees Bhagwan everywhere. Bhakta sees that my Lord alone is all pervasive, so I am serving Bhagwan with that bhav. Anybody, I may do my duties in my roles, but deep down I know I am serving the Lord alone. And that Lord is the cause of this whole universe. And He alone appears as the whole universe. The universe goes back to that same Lord. So there is only one. Though there may be different sizes, shapes, attributes, color, form, that is all plurality of the object. That doesn't matter. The truth behind that is one, consciousness. Wave can be big wave, small wave, foam, bubble, lather, whatever it can be. But ultimately it is all water. Same way here. Achintyam, avyaktam, anantarupam. Infinite are the forms of this consciousness. So every form should remind me of the truth. Consciousness alone is. Then this division that inside, outside, world, consciousness, all will go. Because there's only one truth. From body standpoint, we have created a division. Inside, outside. Where is inside, outside otherwise? There is no inside, outside. In space itself, you see where is inside, outside. By itself in space, there is no inside and outside. Suppose a pot is created, then we say there's a space inside the pot and then a space outside the pot. But that inside, outside is from the standpoint of the pot, not from the standpoint of space. Same way, avyaktam inside, anantarupam outside, all that is all division from body standpoint. Otherwise, there is one truth. Achintyam, avyaktam, anantarupam. And this is all my pointers. It is telling about the real I. I am unthinkable consciousness. I am unmanifest. Which means death also cannot make me scared if I contemplate on this. Unmanifest is what? From this physical form which is manifest, I go back to unmanifest state. That is death. And birth is what? From unmanifest come back to manifest. So Ananta Rupam. So I alone am. That's why Anadi Madhyan, Tathadi Madhyanta Vihitam, Vihinam Ekam. We will come to that. So Ananta Rupam, Shivam, most auspicious. It does not have any impurities. It is the purest. Physical body has impurities, mind has six malas, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, matsarya. Intellect has impurities of ego, doer-shape, enjoyer-shape, vanity. That which does not have all these. Does not have the impurity of vasanas, of ignorance. That consciousness I am. Shivam. Shivam here is not indicating Lord Shiva. That next verse it will come. Here Shivam means consciousness, which is Satyam. Its existence. Shivam. So I am that infinite consciousness because of which this inert appears sentient. Consciousness is that. Shivam. Prashantam. Most peaceful. What they say in that Bible, I think. Peace that passeth all understanding. It is not peace of mind. Peace of mind comes and goes. Peace of mind is very fickle. Though it is that prerequisite for steady contemplation, mind has to be peaceful. And for anything else also, if I want to absorb my study well, if I want to have harmonious relationships, if I want to succeed in my career, anything I want to do, if the mind is peaceful, wonderful things can be done. If the mind is disturbed, all the energies are dissipated. So I am that infinite consciousness where there is no disturbance, because disturbance come at thought level, emotion level. And why? Because there's some insistence, some attachment. That's why the mind is disturbed. Otherwise, there's no cause or disturbance. Even if physically the body is suffering, mind will not be disturbed if the body is not attached to the, if the mind is not attached to the body. One will do what has to be done, take care of it, take some medicine. Is this Gurudev had, this 16% of his heart functioning, diabetes, but no attachment to body. So he did what had to be done for it, but that did not prevent him from serving the society. Continuously he went on serving. So disturbance comes because of attachment. Prashantam, one is Prakarshena Shantam, is not peace of mind that comes and goes. Peace of self. Because it's beyond thought, achintyam. Is peace of mind, disturbance of mind is all at mind level. What happens to the ocean? Ocean is huge. There is no, on the surface somewhere some waves are there. Like that, on the surface of the personality, thoughts are there, emotions are there. They don't affect the consciousness. I am that consciousness. So, Prashantam, my nature is quietude. Today we define ourselves exactly ulta. Swamiji, I am very angry person. I am very greedy. I am like this. I am like that. I feel very low in my confidence. I don't feel strong. So now all that is description of small I. This is aham achintyam prashantam. I am most serene and peaceful. No attachments. I am beyond thought, beyond emotion. I am in the, my nature is that peace which will never become disturbed. So Shivam, Prashantam, Amritam, it is immortal. Mrita means that which is changing. In Vedanta, death means change. The death of the previous condition gives birth to the new condition. So death and birth go on simultaneously. That is called change. This is changeless. That's why Amritam, immortal. It doesn't become, it is not affected by birth or by death. Because it is not born, it does not change, it does not die. That's why Adi Madhya Anta Vihinam. It is that which is Amritam. Na mrityu yat vidyate yasya. There's no death for it. Meaning consciousness will never become non-existent. Even at the body level, if you see, that which is born has to die and that which is dead will be reborn. If you think of that, the body which is born will die because it's made up of 5 elements. It is perishing, it has a prarabdha. The moment prarabdha is over, it will die. And when it dies, it will be reborn. If you don't believe in rebirth in terms of jiva going from one body to another, even at body level, if you see, the body will go back to 5 elements. From 5 elements, another new body will be formed or not. So that which is dead has to be born again. Amrita means that which does not have birth, which does not have death. When first name of Gurudev is what? Om Ajaya Namaha. Salutations to the one who is unborn. And that's why when birthday is celebrated, I am asserting that I am born. That means I'll have to die. I mean, Mahatma celebrate their birthday in a Leela, that's a different point. They don't bother at all. It is more for people to get inspired. Otherwise, they don't have any identification. So if I am born, if I say I am born, I will have to die. Then I am not Amritam. Then I am Mritam. Amritam is unborn, unchanging, immortal. So it is all the three. Amrita word includes all the three. Amrita means that which is not born, which is not going through change, and which will not become non-existent. Amritam, Shivam, Prashantam, Amritam, Brahma Yonim. So Brahma and Yonim, that is one meaning. Brahma Yonim. I don't think that this is it is the womb of Brahman also. So Brahman also is the effect. Then what is the cause of Brahman? Brahma Yonim here, one should not take it like that. Brahman has no cause. As infinite consciousness, no cause. So Brahma word indicates unlimited, infinite consciousness. Brihatva, that which is the biggest, which is infinite. There is nothing greater than that. And Brahman means beyond these three. Desha, Kala, Vastu, Aparichinna. Not limited by space. So it is all pervasive. Not limited by time. It is eternally there. Unchanging. And not limited by objects. So it does not have properties. Each object's property limits it to the other. It doesn't have. So it is infinite. Brahma. And it is Yonim. It is the source of the entire creation. What we saw, ocean is the source of all the waves. Like that, consciousness is the source, unmanifest. But all manifestations rise from it, stay in it, go back to it. So Brahma Yonim, it is the source. Then Tatha Adi Madhya Anta Vihinam. And it is beyond birth, change, and death. Adi meaning cause, the beginning. So what was there before creation? Brahman. Adi. Sadeva Saumya Idam Agra Asit. The Chandogya Upanishad, it says. Truth alone was, meaning before this Srishti came about. Time is born in that. That's why timeless, eternal. So to say which was the first birth from Brahman, what came first? Because our mind thinks in terms of sequence, one after this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first something came, then something came, then. So some extent Vedanta will explain, okay, first is Maya. Using the power of Maya, Brahman became Ishvara. Then Maya created 5 elements. Then that 5 elements became one sequence is given. But the fact is none of that. That's only our explanation to satisfy our buddhi. It is Adi, which is actually called Anadi. It is in beginningless because time is part of creation. What was before time is eternal. And as a creation, if we say, then it is the source. Adi means the source. So it does not have beginning. Adi, no beginning. So it is Anadi. Vihinam, na word is used. So Adi Vihinam means it is Anadi. Madhya Vihinam, meaning it is changeless. Madhya is signifying change. Anta Vihinam, it does not have end, meaning it does not become non-existent. So Anadi Madhyanta Vihinam Ekam. I am that infinite consciousness which is one. People say Hinduism, Hindu Dharma They are worshippers of many forms, many gods, polytheistic religion. We are neither polytheistic nor monotheistic. Please remember. Because that monotheistic and polytheistic is in particular association of form or of a concept of God. We say this is only one Brahman, which is beyond monotheism, polytheism. One infinite truth appearing in infinite forms. Ekam and Ananta Rupam. That is Sanatana Dharma. And yet it is unchanging, infinite consciousness. Nothing has happened. There is no Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. That's why people sometimes get confused. Because we are trying to fit Sanatana Dharma into certain models, then we get confused. One cannot fit it into certain model because this has evolved out of those models long back. And yet it has assimilated all this and risen above it all. So there is one form, there are many forms, and there is formless, and there is a truth which is beyond form and formless. All this one form, many form, formless is beyond all that. Because each of these are a method of sadhana. One form one can use. From many forms you come to one form. From one form go to formless. From that also go further. That is the infinite truth in which there cannot be any categorization. This or this or this or that. That is all play in the finite world. And so if somebody says Hindu Hindus, Hindus are polytheists. We are not polytheists. We are not even monotheists. As a language, we may say monotheism as opposed to polytheism because we believe Brahman is one. But otherwise, it is beyond all description. So, Ekam, it is one. Then, Vibhum. So, it is that which is all pervasive. One meaning of Vibhu is all pervasive. Other meaning of Vibhu means that Vividham Bhati. It is that one, Ekam, which is appearing in so many forms. That Athadi Madhyanta Vihinam Ekam Vibhum. All pervasive meaning no forms, because anything which is all pervasive is not limited by a form. Form will have limited pervasiveness. But like space is all pervasive. Now Brahman is not space, because space is there only as an element, and space is changing, and space is that which will become unmanifest. Space is that which uh, is the subtlest of five elements, but it is jada, it is inert. Consciousness is different. The closest example to consciousness which can be given is of space in terms of pervasiveness. So, Vibhum, all pervasive. So, it is not limited. And all pervasive negates any form. So, I am all pervasive truth. Gurudev used to joke, he used to say, people are worried. If they lose weight, they say I am less pervasive. And then there's some people who are more pervasive. So less pervasive, more pervasive, and identified with that, we keep on feeling, I become so fat and I become so thin and I become so this and that. We are all pervasive, infinite consciousness. Not less pervasive, not more pervasive, all pervasive. That is our true nature. Obviously, not as body, not as jiva, as consciousness. Vibhum means all pervasive. And Vibhum means Vividham Bhati. Is that only one truth appearing as so many? Ananta Rupam and Vibhum in that context is the same. Vibhum, Chidananda Rupam. I am of the nature of pure consciousness. Chit. So Chit, not Chitta. Chitta means memory. Chit. I am pure consciousness, which is making thoughts relevant, making this BMI function like that electricity in that bulb. So that electricity in that bulb makes that bulb shine. Without that, the bulb won't give light. Same way, I am that consciousness which enlivens this BMI. But beyond the BMI, I alone am. If BMI I am not identified with, then I am consciousness. And Ananda, I am complete. There's a sense of fullness, bliss, because I'm infinite. There's no limitation in me. All limitations bring about a sense of finitude. That sense of finitude brings about some sense of want because there's some incompleteness. Now I want something to feel complete. And no matter how much I get it, I will never feel complete because completeness cannot come like that. Some temporary satisfaction, etc., can come. Completeness, fulfillment, gaining which nothing more remains to be gained, that cannot come from anywhere outside. That is my nature already. So, Anandam, I am infinite, I am complete, I am blissful. Vibhum, Chidanandam, Arupam, I have no particular form. Otherwise, we get identified 30 times in a day when looking at the mirror. That is Rupa of the body, that is not me. Arupam. Gross body Rupa is this. Subtle body also has Rupa. Thought also has a Rupa. Like Gurudev used to define thought as object plus consciousness. So any object that is illumined by my consciousness, then only there is a thought. So if I say apple, now apple thought, meaning the form of apple, color of apple, shape of apple, properties of apple, those are all in my mind. And now I am aware this is apple. That awareness is me. It does not have any form. Thought takes the boundary or the form of the object I'm thinking about, but I don't have a form, gross or subtle. Arupam and Adbhutam. Most wonderful is this because it is apparently having all these so called contradictory things. It is one but appears as many. It has no form, but yet it is in all the forms. It has no beginning, no middle, no end, yet it is the source of everything. It is unthinkable, yet it has to be thought of. What a wonderful state. And it is Adbhutam also because it is that which is the enlivener of everything. It does not depend on anything yet. Most wonderful. Unconceivable. No limitation of any properties, form, qualities, nothing. That infinity, just think about it, what it is to be in that state. Most wonderful. If you go to the ocean, go in the middle of the ocean, go to some whatever, in some cruise, the boat and you see water alone everywhere. You see the sky. How amazing it is. Huh? Somebody nowadays, now people will go space tourism. Go sit in the rocket, go up in the space and then see. Even intellectually, you just contemplate. Or even you sit in a planetarium and if you see. What is infinity? You think about space, think about ocean, think about the sky. It's most amazing. The boundary goes away. Even something which is grand in form, if you see, one will feel like that. Mighty Himalaya, you stand in front of the Everest. We forget our existence only so small. What is that mighty thing? Massive. And that is only one small part in this consciousness. The entire creation is one amsha of Bhagavan. In the Gita 10th chapter, it says, Ekam Shena Sthito Jagat. One small amsha of Bhagavan, not even like one molecule, one can say. Then what is that state? Most wonderful. If this whole creation is one speck, what is that state? Most wonderful. The more one thinks of it, that state, more one contemplates that I am Ananda Swarupa, I am Adbhutam, all finiteness will just go. So for today, we will stop here. Next class, we will begin with contemplation on this mantra. Today we have seen the meaning. Now we will do contemplation. Today I have to go somewhere else. There's another program to rush to. So I will stop here, but we will begin. Next class, we will do contemplation on this. Any questions for today? Okay. Yes, Neetaji.
Hariom Swamiji, this question was last time, I just could not ask. So, like, if we have some tendencies which is deep rooted, and like the anger, bad feeling about the bad, someone's behavior, and then we react to it. So, one is aware that I have this tendency and want to drop it. So while Nidhi Dhyasan, we drop name, form, etc. So this tendency will get dropped, or as we say, it may be, it is the gunas of the body, mind, intellect that we have to talk to ourselves like that. And then I am Virajam, Vishokam, Vishadam, Achintya Rupam, and at one time we have to use this pointer, one pointer at a time, or we have to keep changing the pointer every day or every hour or whatever. So, and one is trying even hard, but still it comes, like with the when the field is given, and maybe it is, less intensity now after understanding things, but how to deal with it.
So, as far as pointers are concerned, one can use one, two, three, whatever one feels like. It depends on what is one's deeper understanding and how quickly the mind is able to lift itself to the higher state and then just be. For some people, it can happen, like I said in the beginning, it may happen just with one word. Ramakrishna will say, if he hears the word Kali, he'll go into trance. That's enough for him because his mind is very tuned and purified with that. So it will go. And doesn't mean that if we need some 5, 7 pointers and our mind is impure. It depends on temperament, tuning, many things. So you can choose as many as you like at one setting. Through the day, if you want to keep reminding yourself, you want to change the pointer every few hours, that is also possible. Or if you say, "Ki my today's pointer is avyaktam, tomorrow's pointer is achintyam," you can do that way also. That is up to you. How you want to take it up. No scripture doesn't say anything specific. Now, as far as the deep-rooted tendencies are concerned, yes, the more I say I am achintyam, avyaktam with the right understanding and vision behind it, my attachment to the ego overall, false identification with the body, mind, etc., will reduce, which will help me, but it's a long process. And that definitely is the deeper way to drop ego itself. But if there are specific things that trouble, and that is what the agitation is about, then one has to find out that cause also in the day-to-day life, that there will be some insistence somewhere, there will be some agraha, duragraha, what we call, or there will be some expectation which is not getting fulfilled, which I'm not able to accept. There is a conflict source that I have to find out, overcome that, learn to accept it, drop my insistence, or do whatever is required in terms of forgiveness, compassion, kindness, whatever it is. That for that specific thing, I have to deal with it specifically also. I cannot only do contemplation and expect that that specific cause of sorrow will go away because I'm contemplating. Nor can I only focus on that specific cause and drop contemplation. So both have to be done. They did not be done simultaneously. Obviously, when I'm contemplating, that time I'm only doing this. That time I'm not sitting and finding what is the cause of this sorrow and what to do. That time I don't have to do that. When I come out of the contemplative state, then I should figure out ki why this agitation is there, what is the cause, where am I getting attached, what am I needing to accept, what do I have to let go. That I have to do separately and remind the mind again and again, because if it is clinging to something very strongly, it may not be able to leave immediately. As you said, intensity has reduced, etc., over a period of time with understanding sadhana. That's how it will happen. So keep doing that process, and over a period of time, that will subside. Sometimes our expectations also have to be clear. It will not be possible that in the day-to-day transactions, there is absolutely no anger in anybody's mind, no disappointment in anybody's mind. Even a Siddha Prajna doesn't live like that. Siddha Prajna doesn't identify with it, that's all. But it will arise. Sometimes some anger will be there. That's a righteous anger, but not born out of attachment. Sometimes there will be some, sorrow. Somebody passed away, something happened. It will be there. Ram Batra passed away, Gurudev, he had tears in his eyes. Suvarna Tulabaram happened, then he took the gold coins and he was happy that Hinduism is reviving and he gave it as prasad to people. But he knows that I am a Sakshi, this does not limit me. So we have to be clear about that also, that expectations must be clear. Up and down, the mind is going to go through because that's the nature of the mind. We have to do what we can do to rectify, purify, drop attachments, all that. But beyond that, if I expect that the mind will always be peaceful, that is not possible. होगा ही नहीं, कभी नहीं होगा. So that also one has to be clear.
We have to cultivate the more of awareness that this is happening, but I am not the part of this. I am that Satchitanand Swarup.
Yeah. But remember, finished introspecting on the cause of the sorrow. Because if that is not done, only saying I'm Sachidananda will not help. There will be
Also,
some.
like, you understand the asakti, like part of it, that you are attached to something.
So
You
that
want
has
to drop it. Yeah,
to
you have to drop it. Like intellectually, you have to drop it, but slowly, slowly, you have to train your mind that no, I need to drop it. Let the thing happen, whether it's good or bad. Like at certain point, you can tell some person or some situation that it should happen. But if it doesn't happen, that take it as a God's will and
correct.
let go.
Correct.
Try to let go, because it's not going to happen that way.
Correct.
So that will help, no? That path only will help. Thank
Correct.
you, Swamiji Pranam.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.